I gotta speak on this thing, guys. I hear a lot of talk of people saying how I used to be, and I have no idea like what this actually means. Let me tell you something, guys. I ain't gonna be long on this. This is not a rant. I hear a lot of talk, people saying how I used to be, and I'm like, how did I used to be? Oh, you mean when I thought it was okay to act comfortable around snakes? When I didn't know I was surrounded, when I didn't know I was inside of a snake pit, and I thought that just being myself was okay. When I come across most people, guys, most people are fronting out here, right? Because people have been hurt before. They put up their defenses, they put up their walls, right? Everybody's just walking around in false pretense for the most part. When I tell you guys the best friend I ever had was from Kazakhstan, or when you talk about your bestie or your best friend, or when you're around people who you think is your friend, whatever. Even Elijah Muhammad got a story about somebody who he didn't know was betraying him. It's like the song, everybody plays the fool, right? But what's sad is when you can't just relax and be yourself. I shouldn't have to I mean, we're supposed to be human beings. We're not supposed to be monkeys and animals. You're supposed to, stand upright, act right, stay in your own energy, stay in your own lane, all this type of stuff. So if any lesson I learned is, or the biggest lesson I learned is that I was surrounded by snakes. I mean, what are you supposed to do with that? If God put you in a situation where you're surrounded by snakes. I mean, some people, when they wake up that maybe this individual was a snake, or I woke up and found out I was in a snake pit, not around one snake or two snakes. No, I was actually in the snake. I was like a little mouse inside. You ever see those YouTube videos of the mouse inside the snake pit, and it's like for sure gonna get swallowed? What are you gonna do? Blame the mouse for being a mouse? It was inside of a snake pit. Now, if that mouse was around other mice, then it'd just be another mouse, right? It'll be in this. That's what it's in, its normal habitat. I was not in my normal habitat. Obviously, if everybody thought I was something to play with, which obviously I wasn't, because everybody had to tiptoe around and sneak and tell lies and stuff. So I wasn't exactly a mouse. So when I say my best friend was from Kazakhstan, we're talking about somebody who I didn't have to worry about. You can let down your guard around. I mean, that should be, if you want to, whether you're talking about a spouse or your friend, it's supposed to be somebody you can just be yourself and you shouldn't have to have up these walls. If you have a friend, you shouldn't have to be worrying about him sleeping with your wife, right? On a sneak tip, I should say. I mean, if that's really your friend, he shouldn't be like trying to sneak behind your back and do stuff, at least without telling you, right? That's not your friend then. But people keep talking about how I used to be. I'm like, what information does anybody have that say how I used to be? Guys, let me tell you something. I've been on my game. Like, I'm talking about, like, everything has been a real official business with me since probably, like, you talking about when you become a man, you just get off that goofy shit. Probably around, I would say that happened probably around 32, 33 years old. You just ain't, you ain't with the shits no more. That type of thing. So when people who've only known about me for a few years talk about how I used to, it's like, what do you mean how I used to be? How did I used to be? Because I can go back 9 years on my YouTube video and I see the same character. that I see today. The only difference today is that I'm aware that I was inside of a snake pit. Now, I can understand it from the aspect of how I used to be, as in, there seemed to be some kind of naivety there. Listen, if I was around people that I actually trusted and felt comfortable with, that same naivety would come out again. What you gonna say? I went back to how I used to be? You should be able to be yourself around people. You shouldn't have to be having all these false pretenses. Well, I wouldn't say false pretenses. You shouldn't be acting like how you act when you walk into on a job site, which is people you're supposed to be chilling with. So just to close it out, if it's the type of, if they're talking about the type how I used to be, as far as that childlike naivety, listen, if I was around people that I trusted, just like I thought I could trust those people, and I would have the same naivety about me. There is no there is no change with me. I told you guys, the stuff that I was talking about when I was 30 years old. I wasn't talking about what everybody else was talking about. I was really about that business, just like I am now. There is no how I used to be. People haven't known me long enough to say something like that, and that's where the irritation comes from. Because people act like they know me, or people act like they think they know me or something, because of what's happened to me. How can you just bring some people in on a situation and then all of a sudden people think they know? You know, man, that's like insulting to me. You don't know me. But again, just to close it out, the how I used to be when I was in the snake pit, if I was around people that I could trust, I would be exactly how I used to be.